All right, the Commission of Inquiry into the Public Investment Corporation, which is expected to wrap up its findings this month, will continue to hear evidence from former PIC Chief Executive Dr. Dan Matjila today. Our reporter, Glorious Sefako-Musi, is there. Let's cross live to her. Glorious, a very good morning to you. In terms of continuing his testimony, what can we expect from Dr. Dan Matjila this week?
Good morning, Desiree, and good morning to our viewers. What we can expect this morning is that when the commission starts in just a few minutes, Abel Sithole from the GEPF will take the stand and respond to some of the allegations that have been put through. Remember, the GEPF is one of those agencies that the PIC manages their funds, and Dr. Dan Matjila will then afterwards take the stand to continue his testimony from last week. We remember his testimony last week centered around political interference at the PIC, political influence. He talked about how the changes in government leadership also impacted management at the PIC. He also spoke about some of the deals that are under scrutiny here at the commission. Remember, last week he talked about how he believed he was pushed out as a result of the EdCon deal that wanted to be pushed through. He spoke about how the ANC asked for him to request funding for an ANC event that was going to be held on the general aid statement that the ANC holds every year. But we've seen a statement from the ANC, from the former treasurer, Zweli Mkhize, denying that. We also expect him this morning to speak about some of the deals. Last week he had started speaking about the Tosako deal, which involves in buying into the Total South Africa's BEE empowerment shares by Sakumnoto and Kilimanjaro. The leaders from the two companies appeared before the commission in March, both telling different stories of how they became a consortium to invest in this deal. Now we wait to hear what Matjila will say about this, and also he will speak about the biotechnology deal, where we'll remember that we've heard a lot about this deal, where we had some people giving testimony saying that he had come back from leave and seemed rather desperate to push this deal through, where we understand that some shares that were held by the PIC on behalf of the GEPF were sold in order to fund this deal. We understand now the PIC is obviously trying to recoup that money because of the allegations of overinflation of the value of that company. He will also speak about SA Home Loans. SA Home Loans is the deal where Bolaja Tlhoko Consortium was brought in by the PIC and was also funded on giving them 25% of the 50% that was sold by JP Morgan in SA Home Loans. We understand that from what the evidence that Standard Bank presented, they said that Bolaja Tlhoko's leader, Khulufelo Maponya, had said that he was given this opportunity because of his relationship with Matjila. So it will be interesting to hear what he has to say about that. Another issue is the issue of EcoBank in Togo, the bank that has also attracted a lot of attention here. He was on the board of on the board of that company. We understand that at some point he had said that if he had known of the kind of challenges that that bank faced in West Africa, he would not have allowed the PIC to invest in that. But the PIC, however, went ahead to further invest in that bank, despite the kind of challenges that were reported regarding that bank. Desiree?
Glorious, the content coming out of the PIC Commission, unlike, for argument, the Zondo Commission, can sometimes, it's not necessarily only about personalities, but it can also get very technical in terms of the processes of deal making and also trying to understand the risk processes. What can we do to make it easier for the viewer to understand exactly what this content means to the well-being of the country?
Yes, what's important, I believe, is because the PIC does not manage its own funds. It manages funds for public servants, the pensions of public servants. This is why it's important. We have so many public servants in South Africa, and the PIC is in charge of making sure that the pension that they save every month is invested. And now the issue that's been questioned is the PIC really investing in the interest of the hundreds of thousands of public servants that are investing their money in this, in their pensions every month? Will they have enough money when they do retire? Is the PIC acting in their interest, or is there external influences that make the PIC perhaps to maybe find themselves investing in deals that are not necessarily in the interest of the public servants' pensions?
So you said there that Mr. Abel Sithole will be appearing. Is that the only appearance today?
Yeah, he will start this morning when the commission resumes in just a few minutes. And then after that, then Dr. Dan Matjila will then take the stand again now to continue his testimony. Remember, he took the whole of last week giving testimony, but it's not nearly done. He still has quite over 100 pages to go of his testimony. So he will take, perhaps this afternoon, he will take the stand again and continue giving testimony, completing his testimony that the presentation that he has given to the commission.
Thank you so much for that update. Our colleague Glorious Sefako, based at the PIC inquiry into impropriety. Just to give you a sense, the Public Investment Corporation is an owned entity, 2.83 trillion of assets under management at that corporation, and this is the type of amounts of monies, the abuse thereof that is being investigated here. You're watching The Agenda. Let's